Japan's next set, Paradise Dragona, has been revealed, the full 64 card set, and we're going to take a look at it right now. This set will combine with the other previous set to make up our Surging Spark set that we will get in November in America, and I guess the rest of the world. It's been trademarked for a while. It's supposed to be a Dragon-type style set. Highlights the Year of the Dragon. So let's see if our Overlord Reggie Drago gets some more fun new cards, what these cards do. If you guys enjoyed these kinds of stuff, please like and subscribe down below. I'll try to get you guys new card translations, and we're going to talk about the competitive viability of a lot of these cards. That's kind of what I like to do here. So we're going to go ahead and look at the set arts. Looks like it's... I mean, we already have the Surging Spark set arts, so we can see all the cards here. I'm just not going to spoil anything for myself, so let's just page down straight to the cards. We have the Execute Precocious Evolution. If you go first, you can use this attack on your first turn. Search deck for a card that evolves onto this Pokemon, put it on there. I think we did see the Executor before, but I don't remember exactly what it does. But I think this is a really cool card for it, because if you go Execute into Executor, it's pretty strong, like early gun. Like, especially if you go first and you can just do this. It makes it so you don't get bodied by like a deck that just preys on small things pretty easily, which I quite like. I think I like the evolve fast mechanic to combat these aggro decks that have been popping up recently. We have the Shiinotic that puts your opponent's Pokemon to sleep if it's your active. That's pretty bad. I think having to make Shiinotic your active is pretty bad, and I think maybe it would be better if it was like an evolve from hand ability, but even then I don't think there's like any merit to playing that card. We have the Dhelmise that has Rescue Anchor that puts 2 Pokemon from our discard pile into our hand. I don't think there's anything special there. Then we have Grass Double Colorless 80 and then discard all tools from your opponent's active. Again, nothing crazy. Maybe you could use that to tech for Mimikyu or something, but Mimikyu is also not that big of a problem, I guess. I don't know. Zarude has Grass Colorless 80 plus 80 if you return all energy to your hand. I don't think there's a way to accelerate a ton of grass, so this doesn't make a ton of sense to me. It's a reasonable 1-price attacker, but 3 energies to do 160 and effectively just negate this as an attacker for the rest of the game seems pretty bad to me. We have Sunny Castform, just fire burned, and then we have the 50 and then move energy. So nothing crazy here either. Seems like a bulk card. I really like this Pansear art. He's just looking over. I think that's Mount Coronet over there. He's just looking at it. We have the Simisear Double Smash, 70 times 2, 70 for each heads. I feel like the Monkey Trio has just never had good cards like actually given to them, which is kind of ridiculous. But it's kind of funny though, because the bit just is like these cards are terrible. We have Gouging Fire is in baby form. Fire for Lunge Out 30, Fire Colors 104 or fewer prize cards makes it 70 more. So we do 170 on a 1-prizer that can be powered up with like Magma Basin and stuff. So I actually quite like this card. I think that if there's like a Firebox that needs a 1-prize attacker, there's like a world where you can kind of slot this in. We also have Armarouge for a little bit longer, so this could be a card that slots into like Armarouge. 170 plus, I don't know, some sort of damage modifier, or even like a way to take out Teal Mask Ogerpon is super nice, because Blazing Support can just be powered up in 1 turn. It's a 1-prizer. You can offset and just take out like a Ogerpon and an Iono or something in the same turn. Make it really hard for your opponent to win the game because of that. Yeah. We have Cryogonal to search your deck for a Pokemon, put it in your hand. Cool. All right. That's nothing special here. Black Kyurem EX. This is one of the first EX Pokemon we get to see here. Not a Dragon type, surprisingly. It is a Water type. For 3 colors, we do 90, and if they are a Dragon type Pokemon, it is now paralyzed. So there is Dragon support and Dragon counters also being printed here. So this is a card that you could play into something like Chien-Pao and definitely try to, like, you know, utilize Baxcalibur to power this up. And then we have Water, double colorless, 250 and do 30 to yourself. 250 is actually pretty good. I don't know if it's good enough, though, because I feel like 250 takes out a lot of the weenies, but doesn't do a lot to the big guys. And I feel like the only viable way you actually play a card like this is Baxcalibur. So you've got to play like Baxcalibur, Kyurem, Chien-Pao stuff, and then at that point your deck is already like pretty tight. So I don't know if that's amazing. We have Bruxish with counter attack Quills. If this Pokemon's in the active and takes damage, put 3 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. Yeah, all right, not good. Keep moving. We got the Quaxley. This guy's he's hitting the dab. You know, he's waving. You know, just saying what's up. Swallow Return 10 plus 20. Quaxwell, Aqua Edge, and then we have a Quaquaval. Tempo up, or up tempo, sorry. Once during your turn, we put a card from the bottom of your deck. If you do draw cards until you have 5 in your hand. So it's like kind of like the old Claydol with Cosmic Power, but the problem is Cosmic Power was on a stage 1 in a format where you could get it up much easier, and on a stage 2 for 1 less card, this is just significantly worse in every way, shape, and form. So I just don't think you can invest that time into getting Quaquaval up and running. We also had like Spirit Tube and stuff back then. So a whole different era if you guys have never played 2010 or 28 to 2010. 2008, I guess, not 28. Who says that? Citadel, and we have Cetitan. Cetitan is a 180 HP stage 1, pretty big, with a sturdy body, so it's effectively 210. And then water, triple colorless, dangerous mouth 150, but it is a stage 1. And that's such a steep attack cost, so the only way you can play it is Baxcalibur, yada yada, pack it up, see you next time. We have a Smoochum, Happy Kiss, search your deck for 2 basic psychic attack on your bench Pokemon you like. Could be actually interesting if you want to power up a psychic type Pokemon pretty quickly. It's like a psychic Exceller, and it is a free retreater, so you have the option to play a card like this. It's like a little weenie to power up your board. We have Latias EX with Skyline. Your basic Pokemon have no retreat. I like that quite a bit. It's, I think, definitely going to see some sort of play as a support Pokemon. I don't know what deck has a lot of retreat costs right now, but it could be really good for a deck that, you know, in the future requires quite a bit of retreat cost and switching and maneuvering. Eon Blade for Psychic Colors 200 is still pretty good also. I think with any modifier, we can take out a lot of the weenies in the format, like the weenie 2 prizers, I guess. 200 is just a little bit short of being like absolutely broken. If it's like 210, I think that number is absolutely beautiful, but I think 210 also makes it a little bit powerful, too powerful maybe. Latios has Skill Dive 50, so nothing crazy, and then Jet Headbutt. Tapu Lele has Mental Crush, 90 plus 90 if they are confused. Psychic Colorless Close. I think there's too many things that like move around in the format, and dedicating 3 Psychic energies, or a Psychic plus a DTE, I guess, to a 110 HP basic is so, it feels bad because this guy just goes down so easily. So I don't know, this commitment kind of sucks. We have the Espathra, which just devolves, but it's only devolved once. So like, why would I play this card when TM Devo ever exists? Like, I don't get it. I'm just like, maybe in my Espathra deck I can play this card when Devo rotates or something in my Espathra EX deck, but also my Espathra EX deck probably supposed to kill everything. So I don't even know if this is good. We have Gimmighoul with a little errand. That's cute. Search your deck for 2 basic energies, put them into your hand, shuffle them into your deck. Could go into the other Goldango deck, especially because it's a 70 HP Gimmighoul, which is a little bit better. Just 50 damage here. Gimmighoul is one of my favorite Pokemon in the new generation. I will say that if you guys didn't know that about me. This little guy grew on me pretty quickly, and I like it quite a bit. Trapinch, search for 2 guys, put them on your bench. Cool. Vibrava, nothing crazy here. Just Cutter Wind. And then the Flygon EX, I think we've talked about this guy in the past before, but this guy has Stormbug for 130, and you may switch it with a Pokemon on your bench. I quite like that because you can now play like Flygon walls and just wall around some Pokemon and just kind of make like this guy a tank or whatever. And then we have Water Fighting Metal to do Peridot Sonic 100 to each of your opponent's Pokemon V and EX. So this isn't even that good. I think you just play it for Stormbug and just trying to go like Stormbug, walls, something like that. Like Flygon walls could be really good. I don't know what walls are great in this format right now, but you can play like Flygon walls and just kind of like sit behind some of the more annoying Pokemon for your opponents to take out. Like maybe like you go Stormbug into like Cornerstone, and you just put the Cornerstone there in the active. Play like more pivoting options and routes to move your Pokemon, so you can keep going Flygon into Flygon, like keep bouncing, and just make it really annoying for your opponents to play the game. So I think this card is really good. Off the rip, the second attack is pretty bad, but I think the Stormbug itself at 130 with modifiers, you can go up to 160, maybe even 180. Makes it so you can 2-shot pretty much everything in the format. And with Vitality Band, maybe even do it like 140, which is enough to do a lot of damage. We have Drillbur and Excadrill. These guys don't really do anything. Fighting Colors 60 plus 80 if you have a metal. I don't know, that's too niche. I don't like that. Another Passimian card, 20 times each of your basic Pokemon in play. These cards just never, these Passimians just never are good. I feel like the only one was a Throwing Coach one that was actually good. I liked that one quite a bit. Landers, 30, attach a card from your discard pile to this Pokemon. That's terrible. If it could go to any Pokemon, maybe it'd be like doable, because you can set up fighting attackers. But yeah, nothing here. We have Clobopus and Graplocked. Graplocked is fighting colorless, 130 if they have any damage counters. This attack can be used for fighting, so maybe you can, I don't know, it's still pretty bad. Like if the Graplocked into play and you don't do enough damage to one-shot anything realistically. Skarmory, also pretty bad. Klefki, pretty bad. I mean, it's a discard 1-draw too, so it's not like terrible, but if it was an ability, like if you bench it, and then you can discard the Klefki plus a card in your hand, you draw 2. Like, I think that would be pretty cool, where like Klefkis in the past have had like they discard themselves. No, Klefki was an attach effect. So maybe it's like, when you bench Klefki, you can discard a card from your hand and then draw 2. But this is just terrible. We have Duraludon that has Metal for 50, and then Metal for 130 for Durant Beam. That's not a Durant. Discard 2. And then we have Archaludon. 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 300 HP, 2 retreat, stage 1 behemoth. Like, that is a lot of HP on stage 1. Ability Alloy Build. When you play this hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may attach 2 basic metal from your discard pile to one of your metal Pokemon you like. That's pretty insane. You now have the flexibility to attach anything. You just got to get the energy state of the discard, so you can play like a turbo way to get to Alloy Build. And then metal, 220, and you have no weakness next turn. So you're not even weak to fire. And I guess your opponents have to gust around the one Archaludon. So maybe you play like one Archaludon, and then you get like the Duraludons into play, and you just sit behind them. And then you can just go into like one Archaludon, and then go Alloy Build and start smacking with Metal Defender. So no fire type can actually one-shot you unless they go like Prime Catcher, or Prime Catcher Boss or something. Which then, if they do that to one Archaludon, then your second Archaludon just comes up and does a ton more damage. 220 is really good too, which means we can modify things with Hawlucha, Choice Belt, Vitality Band, Defiance Band, whatever you want to say. This card seems really, really good. Like, I cannot stress that this card seems absolutely insane. And there might be some metal Pokemon that we've slept on in the past that we have to go back and look at now, because this can attach them to your Pokemon, metal Pokemon, in any way you like. Another Goldengo. This art looks super goofy. I love it. 30 plus 90 if it evolved from Gimmighoul this turn. That's actually not bad. I actually do not hate that. And then Surf Return 100 and shuffle it back into your deck. We're never getting to Surf Return. It's always just a Rich Strike, and then we just pack it up. Deleting / Metal Colorless 40 plus 80 if they have 3 or more bench Pokemon. Okay, but it's not a metal type Pokemon I feel like I would want to play, because this is just so weak as a future Pokemon. So maybe just pack it up. See you next time, Iron Crown. We'll get you another try. You already have a good EX to play with. Alolan Eggy has another stage 1 with 300, another Behemoth, no weakness, 3 retreat. We can evolve into this guy turn 1, as a little Eggy said. Grass, Water, 150. Choose any number of basic energy from your hand, attach them to Pokemon where you like. Really good. Just quick excel, quick making our opponents have to deal with one big attacker or one big thing being loaded up pretty quickly. And then we have Grass Water Fighting, Swinging Sphene, flip a coin. If heads, knock out your opponent's active basic. If tails, knock out one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So you basically just get to snipe a dude for free, which is super nice. If they're basics, if they're evolves decks, then it just kind of like sucks significantly more. But even then, you can just swing for 150 and call it a day. But this card just has to be good. Like, this card just feels like it's absolutely insane. And even if you don't play it in a regular deck, this can just slot into Regidrago pretty easily. Obviously, Regidrago and V-Stars will probably rotate sometime next year. But until then, this is another addition to the Regidrago V-Star deck, where Tropical Fever can just get you back into the game, set up your board, and then Swinging Sphene can always just be like a way to go for like a Hail Mary play and try to take something off the bench if you can't go around the active, for example, or don't want to go around the active. We have Altario, Humming Charge, search for 2 basic attachment Pokemon. Cotton Wings, if heads, prevent all damage. 100 damage. This could also be good into Drago because it has a stalling card and like gives you time back. I don't know. Maybe it's just bad. Dialga, time control, so straight for 2 cards, shuffle them in, put them in your top of your deck. If it goes straight to your hand, maybe it'd be better, but I just don't think going to the top is enough in this format. I feel slow. Then we have Space Crush, 40 times the number of each basic attached to this Pokemon. Not great on Palkia, not even great if you're going to use it in Drago, because you max probably at 120, 160 on any given turn, so I just don't like that. Burn to a Crisp, discard energy from your opponent's active Pokemon EX. I'm sure someone will figure this out with Control. And then Steaming Stomp 100, nothing great for Turtonator. Applin, Nutrients, heal 30, trip over 20 plus 30 if you hit heads. That's funny. Flapple, Sour Spit, 20 times the number of damage counter on your opponent's active. That probably goes into some sort of like spread control strategy. And then we have Appleton, 50, and they can't attack next turn. That's honestly pretty bad. All of these are pretty bad. I can't even defend them. They're just pretty awful. Swablu has nothing going for it. Rufflet has nothing going for it. Braviary has Drag Out. Switch something into the active, does 40. 40 is not enough, especially on a stage 1, and you have to do a double colorless for it. So this card just goes down pretty easily. Braviary just got copied again a second time. All good in the hood. Cyclizar EX, so another EX, and this looks like one that is a Taro one. 130 for Breakthrough, 3 colorless, does 31 on your opponent's bench. Not a bad attack, actually, on a basic especially. And then second attack is Zircon Road, Grass, Fire, Psychic, 180, and you may draw 5 cards. Like, that seems kind of nutty to just draw 5 cards for, like, Freelo. And the cool thing about Cyclizar is another colorless type Pokemon, so the Glass Trumpet will work with Cyclizar, so you can play, like, a one-off copy of Cyclizar to get to Zircon Road, maybe play a modifier to get more damage, and use Zircon Road, just draw 5 cards. Now your opponent's in a pretty rough spot where they have to hand disrupt you, and if they don't, you have a million cards in hand. I feel like it's not draw. Dude, I feel like draw 5 is just so broken. Like, maybe it's draw until you have 5 in hand, which would make more sense. But if it's draw 5 cards, this card seems really, really good. Pokemon are done. We're heading into the trainer supported stadiums. This is usually where the bulk of the set comes in. Helper Bell, you can use this. You can only use this card if you go second and only on your first turn. Search deck for a supporter card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. It seems super niche, and I just don't know if like I want to play a deck that has to rely on using Helper Bell because it's such a niche use condition. Dusk Ball actually seems really cool because you can look at the bottom 7, get a Pokemon, put it in your hand, so you can always like not pre-fire an Iono, but like it's the same as like a Great Ball to an extent. You're just looking at the bottom 7. And in this situation, like again, Iono, you can just look, get something you need, probably that you got one to the bottom. You can Ultra Ball for a piece now, put it in your hand, knowing that you have Dusk Ball in your deck. So if it gets sent to the bottom, you have Dusk Ball to try to find it again. Disruptive Letter. Your opponent counts the cards in their hand, shuffles them, and puts them in the bottom of their deck, and they draw that many cards. So it's like a Peaking Red card, basically. Nothing crazy. I think it's an okay card. It's the same hand size, so it doesn't really actually change anything. If it was like a stamp, maybe better, but no. Megaton Blower, discard all Pokemon tools and special energy attached to each of your opponent's Pokemon and discard any stadium in play. So basically just wiping your opponent's board of tools, energy, and stadium. And that's probably good against Lugia for sure, but I don't know where another good use case would be. Dragon's Potion, heal 60 from your active dragon. Seems pretty good for dragon type Pokemon, not gonna lie. Pasha Berry. When this Pokemon is attached to his damage by water, Pokemon takes 60 less. I guess you're gonna do the berries until we hit all the berries, I guess. Because I think we got 2 berries in the other set too, so we're gonna get 3 berries total here, maybe a 4th one. Counter Gain coming back is really cool. If you have more prize cards left than your opponent, the attacks of this Pokemon are 1 colorless less. Counter Gain basically just becomes now a niche little comeback tool, especially paired up with some sort of control strategy or even like attackers that could use it for colorless less, and so you get some weird cards that get better just by going like, I'm going to play a comeback strategy with Counter Gain. That could be cool. Drayton, look at the top 7, reveal a Pokemon and trainer you find there, put them into your hand. Kind of niche. I think a Pokemon and a trainer is like okay, but you don't have any control over it, so I think there's probably like a better supporter you could just play to get what you need, those 2 exact cards. But Drayton seems fine. Surfer, switch your active with one on your bench if you do draw until you have 5. So you get a pivot and you get to fill your hand. I kind of like this guy. Another effect like Kieran, where like our pivots aren't just switch cards, that kind of stuff. Like we have more effects, and I like that quite a bit. Drasna, shuffle your hand into your deck, flip a coin. If heads, draw 8. If tails, draw 3. It's just Ilma, but for one side and worse, I guess. Elisa's Appeal, switch in your opponent's bench. Switch in one of your opponent's bench basic Pokemon to the active. The new Pokemon is confused. So we're basically getting boss's orders for a basic only Pokemon, and they are confused. So I guess you could, I don't know if the confusion actually matters. So maybe boss is just universally better, but maybe there's a world where the confusion matters and you have like a confusion deck. I think we saw an attacker in here that was for confusion, but otherwise, yeah. Rich Energy, colorless, and when you attach it, you draw 4. That's actually pretty insane, but I don't think it's better than like Legacy or some of the other ace specs that exist in the format. So that is the end of the set review. We're looking at some of these cool alt arts and stuff as well. But if you do guys like this video, please like and subscribe. Let me know what your favorite card is in the set you're looking forward to, and we'll catch you guys next time.